So this video is a response to SC Reviews. Now SC Reviews is a great YouTuber who makes great videos, and I'll leave a link in the description below to his video so you can watch this video in full for yourself. But there's a particular point that he's picked up on towards the end of the video, and I want to discuss it in a bit more detail because no one's really discussing it, and SC Reviews doesn't provide any comments in this video also. So I want to explain it for you, and it seems to be a split. Now many people have talked about this potential split, or they would understand why this split has taken place. And what it is that you have these actors like Chris Hemsworth and Robert Downey Jr. who built these characters up over 10 years, and now Captain Marvel comes in at the very last minute and kills Thanos. So people like Chris Hemsworth, they've made these movies building up these characters only for them to be moved to one side by a new character. And in this clip, Chris Hemsworth does try and point out there is a potential split, and you can hear him replying to Brie Larson and pointing out that he's not happy, or pointing out that Captain Marvel has come in at the very last minute. So I'll show the clip and you can hear it, and also SC Reviews has done it in big bold letters to just make it clear. And this is what you can hear Chris Hemsworth saying, and I'm really surprised, but I'm really shocked. You can hear Chris Hemsworth say, "You've come in, successfully stolen the torch and taken over." Now that kind of suggests that obviously there's a torch bearer in this saga. There's different torch bearers, so it's predominantly Captain America, Iron Man and Thor, and they seem to pass the torch between each other. So Marvel will say, right, we want Captain America to be the leader for these 2 years, and then it's going to be Iron Man, and now it's going to be Thor, and they all respect that. They all respect that they've built up these movies and their independent standalone trilogies, and they kind of all respect that. Well, Chris Hemsworth respects that that's part of the movie, but he said, you can hear him say, "You've successfully come in and stolen the torch," and that's very different to handing over the torch. Chris Hemsworth didn't say, "Oh, we've handed the torch over to you at the last minute." He says, "You've successfully come in and stolen the torch and taken over." So it sounds like Chris Hemsworth is really bitter that Captain Marvel has come in at the very last minute and, like he says, stolen the torch. He said that as a response to Brie Larson snapping at him because Chris Hemsworth made a joke about Brie Larson trying to be the next Tom Cruise. And again, if you watch this video from SC Reviews, you'll see the whole picture, but I don't want to show you the whole picture when SC Reviews has already covered it. But this particular point, I'm really shocked by it, and I can understand Chris Hemsworth saying it based on how Brie Larson snapped at him over his joke about Brie Larson trying to be the next Tom Cruise. Now in this video from SC Reviews, you'll see as well what it's based on, because Brie Larson claimed that she does all her own stunts, yet SC Reviews shows photos of Brie Larson having a stunt double. So how can Brie Larson say that she does her own stunts when there's a stunt double and there's photos of it? So Brie Larson appears to be lying. That's also what SC Reviews points out. But it's this whole point of Chris Hemsworth saying, "You've stolen the torch." That's not him saying, "Oh, I've handed the torch over to you." He said that you've successfully stolen the torch and taken over. And if you watch the interview, he seems to be quite wound up. You know, he's joking with Brie Larson, and Brie Larson just snaps back at him without this sense of humour. And I think Brie Larson is kind of like laughing because she's realised. So I just want to raise this issue. If you have any thoughts on it, leave your comments below. But it seems to be this little argument, and Chris Hemsworth has replied very quietly, in a very quiet tone of voice, but he does say, "You've successfully stolen the torch and taken over." These are very emotive words, and many people have talked about this potential split between the actors of the original movies. People like Chris Hemsworth, they've spent 6 or 7 years making these movies. In the case of Iron Man, it's 10 years, and yet at the very last minute a new character comes along and takes all the credit. So if Captain Marvel does go on to kill Thanos, there's no point of having Iron Man or having Thor or having Captain America, because they don't actually perform the final task of killing Thanos. If it was two of those characters combined, or perhaps Iron Man, who was the original character, that would make perfect sense, because they've spent 10 years building up these characters. But if it's just a new character to come in at the very last minute and perform the final task of killing Thanos, then what's the point of having Iron Man? What's the point of having Thor? They've spent all these time building up these characters, yet they needed Captain Marvel to perform the final task. And that seems to be the split that Chris Hemsworth is suggesting. He's suggesting you've stolen the torch, and the torch is you're the character who's going to kill Thanos, and you've stolen it and you've taken over. Yet I've spent the last 6 or 7 years playing Thor, Robert Downey Jr. spent the last 10 years playing Iron Man, and yet you've just stolen the torch. So leave your comments below, and also like and subscribe. But I'm really shocked by this, because it does show a split, and many people have suggested there will be a split, and they can understand why. If you're Chris Hemsworth and you've built up Thor, you've spent a lot, 6 or 7 years building up this character, and then a new character comes along at the very last minute and puts you to one side, that almost makes your character look stupid and weak because you couldn't kill Thanos. And in Infinity War, Thor arrives and tries to kill Thanos and he fails. So that shows that Thor isn't as powerful as Captain Marvel. So why has Thor made all these movies or been this character when he wasn't powerful enough to kill Thanos, but now Captain Marvel comes along at the last minute and kills Thanos? That's why Chris Hemsworth is bitter or angry that Brie Larson's come along, or Brie Larson's characters come along at the very last minute, and now in interviews Brie Larson is arguing with Chris Hemsworth when he's just trying to make jokes. So there does seem to be a split amongst these actors, and it is quite understandable. So again, leave your comments below and also like and subscribe. But I'm really surprised by this. I'm surprised that no one else is covering this issue. So again, leave your comments below and also like and subscribe.